Welcome everyone to the Namibian Motorsport Federation 2023 eSports Series, the German Touring Car vs British Touring Car Championship. This of course is the third round. And coming up we have round 3 from Zandvoort in the Netherlands. I'm your commentator Dennis Mitchell and I'm joined once again by Sean Woodgate. Good evening, good afternoon Sean. Just running everyone through the calendar. So this is round 3 from Zandvoort. We'll then have electronic or electric docks, Suzuka, then Road Atlanta, Road America, Lime Rock Park, Hockenheim Grand Prix Circuit, and Alton Park, or possibly Tony Rust. And the point system, just to let everyone know, that is the current point system. Drivers will get a point for pole position, and there's a point for the fastest lap, as well as the points up to 15th place. Current standings coming into this round, we have Jean-Louis de Toy on 37 points from Yandre Duppenaar on 34 points and Richard Tellier on 30 points. So very close in the top 3. Adrian now closing in, having had one terrible round. He's definitely caught up after the other round. Alright, let's head into qualifying. Drivers are now on track. So this is qualifying proper. Of course, round 3 qualifying from Zandvoort. Watching Peter Murray coming down the main straight. Now, quite a nice track to drive on as a driver. Certainly a challenging track. It doesn't look as hard as it is. This particular chicane here is actually quite tricky because you can use a bit of the curves, but if you use too much of the curve, and especially that exit curve there on the right, it will definitely slow the car down. You might even lose a little bit of time getting it into a slide. And here as well, you need to use a lot of the curb, get up on the curb, and then use the banking, keep it tight, straight line, and then go right up to the wall. If you get that wrong, it can be very detrimental. One of our drivers is disconnected. I'm sure Jean-Andre will reconnect shortly. He of course has been one of the faster drivers throughout all the testing and practice. Yes, I think that was Jean-Andre Duppenaar going into the pits. Richard unfortunately losing it into the barrier there. We can head over to Monet. Monet also on a lap. He's about to come across the line, so we can follow him on his next lap. I think he's right behind Adrian Null. He's ahead of him there. Adrian Null just took provisional pole. Peter on a good lap at the moment. 2 personal best first and second sector. Let's see if he can improve. The drivers are on fire at the moment. They're in the lowest fuel modes they can be in at the moment. So once again on for a good lap, but let's have a look at JP, who's up the road. JP at the moment sitting in 7th place out of all the drivers. Let's see if he can improve at the moment. Not on for a personal best. Oh, it does look fantastic. I like the livery. This Bumblebee looks like it's got a whole bunch of oil spattered over it. I don't know if it's meant to look like that. Andre has just rejoined. Let's have a look at Andre Besson. Andre Besson also on a good lap. Fastest overall in the first sector. He's on the move. The car's bouncing around over the bumps there. Not many bumps here. It's quite a smooth track. Good exit, nice and clean. Of course, these cars do have DRS, which is available in qualifying. In the race, they're only able to use that when they're within a second of a car ahead of them. Personal best in the middle sector, the fastest overall in the first, personal best in the second. Let's see where he jumps up. He's currently 4th. Provisional pole position. Watching Jandre on his outlap. So currently Jandre leading the championship, coming into this round very strong, being one of the fastest drivers. He's just disconnected and reconnected, so hopefully he can put in a great time. But currently he's still sitting in 2nd place. I'm sure this is going to be a hot lap though. He's warming up, rounding up the final turn. I'm sure he'll open up DRS shortly. He does sector 1 as he's about to cross the marker for sector 1. Fastest overall. Not a very good middle sector by his standards, but he had a very, very good first sector. Let's see how he can end the lap. Not too much slide. And he does take provisional pole. Adrian now fastest in the first sector. With a minute left to go, who's going to pinch it? Over. Yonder taking a very wide entrance to that, getting a little bit on the dirt, but managing to actually get a bit of momentum out of that. So that was actually quite a nice exit out of the corner. Oh, that's definitely not a good exit, unfortunately. Alright, let's go to Richard. Richard, I think, is about to start actually coming into the pits. Alright, so the drivers on the lap can now finish a lap. Peter Murray, personal best sector 1, personal best sector 2. Yes. Right. Of course, racing and qualifying are two different things. You might be more conservative in qualifying, but actually do very well in the race. So most of the drivers finishing their laps. I think we have 2, maybe 3 drivers. As we see, it looks like Andre is coming into the pits. Audrey and Nell also coming into the pits. So I believe that is it for qualifying. Rene is the last driver on a lap. So we will head to a quick ad break and then we'll be back shortly for the race. A 35-minute race. So stay tuned, we'll be back shortly. Right, welcome back everybody to the race. This is the round 3 event. This is the German Touring Car vs British Touring Car Championship. We are here for round 3, coming to you live from the Zandvoort circuit in the Netherlands. I'm your commentator Dennis Mitchell, joined once again by Sean Woodgate. Good afternoon, Sean. Just a quick look at our standings as the drivers are going to head out now on their formation lap, as they will follow the safety car. One of the drivers is having a bit of an issue in the background there, as they now get away. I'll also just show you the point system for those of you who'd like to know how they score their points. First points is 20 points, second is 18, 16, 14, so it drops by 2 into the lower 10. It's a single point, 1 point for pole position and 1 point for fastest lap. Of course, the current schedule, this is Zandvoort for round 3. We will then have Electronic Docks, Suzuka, Road Atlanta, Road America, Lime Rock Park, Hockenheim and Alton Park. Let's run you through our starting order. So in pole position we have Adrian Nel in second place, Jean-Louis de Toy in third place, Andre Besson, and in fourth place Yandre Duppenard. In fifth place Richard Salier, sixth place Peter Murray, seventh place Monet de Toy, and eighth place JP Salier. Right, as the drivers now have to watch the safety car will peel in. They must keep position until they cross the line. They cannot pass another car. Once the safety car peels in, they are allowed to accelerate, but they are not allowed to cross, otherwise they will get penalties if they change position. Cars all looking good. Drivers all have their new skins loaded and it does look a lot prettier. Also looks fantastic. Surrounding the final chicane. I'm sure their hearts will be in their mouth now. They're nearing the start. The race, of course, is a 35-minute race. So they will need to pace themselves. The tires will start to go off near the mid mark, so they have to manage their tires. They need to manage their fuel. And of course, they need to be within a second of the car ahead of them if they would like to use the DRS, which is drag reduction system, the exact same system that's in Formula 1.
Green flag, go, go, go!
Right, we're now away. Oh dear. Yeah, fuel loads will differ, and possibly even the actual setup on the cambers and things will be less aggressive. And it looks like he's pulling away slightly from Jean-Andre at this early stage. Yandre Duppenard in third place is looking strong at the moment. He had a good start. Unfortunately, Andre Besson having a little bit of a spin at the start, so Yandre has inherited third place, but he's hanging in there at the moment, and he might have a good race pace, so maybe he's strong as the race progresses. And in the background we have, I believe it's Richard Salier, and right behind Richard we have Peter Murray. have a look at Andre Besson after having that spin. His car doesn't look too bad, so hopefully he can progress, catch up guys at the front and get a good result still. He definitely was one of the faster guys in qualifying, so he's got the pace. Hopefully he's got the race pace as well. And interestingly, Adrian setting the fastest lap of the race there on a 1:31.2. Jandre was faster, but it didn't register it, so I'm not sure if he had a slight cut somewhere, and it's not registered him as the fastest lap, but he did a 1:30.7, so half a second faster on that lap, and that's why we're seeing him closing in. Now that's unfortunate. See, a lot of the guys getting very twitchy on some of the exits. Adrian, they're getting very, very twitchy. And Richard is not that far back either, so if something happens and they start battling up ahead, he might actually join the fight. So it's a three-way fight at the moment. It might become a four-way fight later in the race, depending what happens. This place, Peter Murray, looks like he's a little bit further back. I don't think he's going to join unless there's a bit more squabbling up ahead. And looking strong at the moment, looking a lot smoother than Adrian. Adrian is looking a little bit erratic at the moment. The car is definitely moving around more. Looks like he will. That's a bit of a surprise. I was expecting Adrian to be really challenging at the front, but perhaps his strategy is get the car to go longer and might come stronger with the lower fuel loads. Perhaps his setup just isn't suiting the fuller fuel loads. So we'll see how that progresses. Maybe he's being a bit more conservative on his tires as well, while the others are maybe pushing a bit harder on their tires now, and that might certainly come into play later on in the race. It definitely seems at that point where he rolls off on the brake and onto the throttle that the car is getting a lot more loose. And the gap to watch now is the gap to Richard. That's coming down. That's just dropped 0.3 of a second. And then of course the other driver is Andre Besson, who's currently in 5th place. Yes, and he's actually managed to work his way up past Peter Murray already, and currently sitting about 8 seconds behind Richard Sellier. Lap time wise, 33.7 on the last lap. That included the pass on Peter Murray. So we'll see from this lap how his lap times compare. I don't think the car is too badly damaged if it is damaged, but he seems to have good pace. Peter Murray now up on the inside of him there. I'm pretty sure DRS aided in that as well, because he had sat nicely in the slipstream and he was obviously very close and had DRS open. It definitely does seem to be helping the guys as well. Of course, now Adrian now under threat from Richard Sellier, who has caught up to him. Richard is within DRS zone, but didn't catch up nearly as much as what Yandre did when Yandre was behind Adrian. Definitely does look good. A lot more stable than Adrian. Adrian is not looking as erratic as he did in the first half, so maybe it is a fuel issue. Two of them taking quite different lines out of the chicane as well. Adrian taking a wider line, Richard straightening up a lot earlier, getting a more point and squirt. He's a bit closer as well this lap. Off the podium, from being provisional pole position or pole position to off the podium. As we see Peter Murray coming out of the pits, I think he's gone in for an early pit stop. Is that a strategy that will pay off? No, I didn't see anything pop up. If we've missed it, we apologize. But from what I'm seeing now, he's straight away looking like he's got more pace. So I'm going to presume he's gone in and done a pit stop. He's got fresher tyres. He seems to have the grip. Maybe the tyres just aren't lasting. We have Richard in the pits as well now. Sorry, it was one of the other drivers in the pits. It was JP in the pits. He's doing a pit stop. So when will the leaders then pit? Andre Besson just setting the fastest lap of the race as well, so with his car being in the state it's in the battle that he had with Peter Murray, he's obviously suddenly just clicked with the car. Maybe the fuel load has also come down to his liking. We might find the same happens with Adrian, who happens to be in the pits right now as well. So Adrian entering the pits. this is the problem the drivers are going to have. So at the moment, Peter Murray has pitted, and he's clearly faster than Jean-Ray in this phase of the race with the newer tyres, but he's a lap down. I was going to say, it looked like Genre was going to put there, but his line changed mid-corner. Although Peter and Andre directly behind him are, so they are fighting for position, and Andre just set the fastest lap once again. And there goes Peter. They are fighting for position, so, and Andre's not fast. So these guys unlapping themselves, they are clearly fast at this phase of the race. Oh, there we go. Peter unfortunately making an error. It could have maybe been a DRS. I'm not sure if that is a DRS zone, because with these cars, DRS needs to be opened in a straight line. Perhaps he tried opening it a fraction too early and the rear end came out. We'll keep an eye on Adrian now. He's also had a pit stop. So currently 26 seconds behind Richard. But his pace looking pretty good. He's set the fastest middle sector. And on this lap, he is almost 2 seconds a lap faster in the middle sector alone. So the new tyres are definitely going to come into play. As we see Richard Salir now in the pits. And there we see Adrian setting the fastest lap of the race and passing Richard for position. So the undercut has played a part. And it looks like the leader, current leader, Genre, is slowing a little bit. So last lap a 1:35.5. So obviously struggling. Behind him, Genre on a 1:33.2. So Genre is now coming into play. He's now going to be challenging for the lead. I wonder when they are going to, but they surely are not going to chance staying out, because the gap currently is coming down at quite a rate. And if they leave it too late, they're not going to be able to make up the time that they gain from it. looks like Genre has now responded. Gap has gone from 2.2 seconds difference to 1.6, so he has responded. Monet du Toit is still here. He's in 8th place at the moment. So lots to play for. I think a lot of it is going to depend on whether the other cars chance staying out. If they chance staying out, their tires might just hit the cliff. And if they hit the cliff, well then I think this is Adrian's race. Yes, unfortunately the gaps are a little bit big, but we'll see once the drivers, if the drivers in first and second, Genre and Yandre, decide to pit or not. That could totally change the face of the race, but at the moment, I think the drivers in third and fourth, which are at the moment the fastest drivers on track, might have to wait for the tire wear to kick in. I think Genre is behind Peter Murray now, so Peter Murray unlapped himself, then had that slight moment where he hit the barrier, and from that point on it looks like Genre has sort of neutralized the pace with him, but now he's catching him. So Peter's going to be getting blue flags soon, and too many blue flags you might get a penalty. He's also going to have to watch out for that. We did see a flash of blue there on the track, so he is being notified of blue flags. Again, the second one. Yes, sure. That's now the third blue flag, and he moves over. Nicely done. I think it's Peter Murray. It is Peter Murray, yes. At the moment, lap time wise, the interesting thing is Jean de Tour has not done a pit stop. His last lap was a 1:32.5. Adrian Nel did a 1:33.0 on the last lap. So he has pitted and has fresher tyres, and yet their lap times, he's actually slower by half a second than Jean-Andre. So maybe it's also driving style, car setup, he's more aggressive on the car. We saw JP making a mistake, ending up on the grass as his brother Richard and Adrian came past, and that was the two of them fighting as well for 4th place at the moment. But Richard having made a small mistake, the gap is extended to just over a second, so I'm not sure if he's going to be within DRS zone for the straight. Currently 1.1 seconds back. Strangely enough, I think Adrian is having tyre wear issues again. It just looks like his car is difficult to drive. I think Adrian's car is set up to run more on the nose, and it looks like he's struggling with the rears going. The front seems like it's still gripping and the rear doesn't want to comply. Oh. He's got a bit of time before Andre gets there, so Andre now heading onto the main straight. If Adrian does look like he's got going again. He has, yes. Yeah, I don't think much is going to happen in 2 minutes unless there's an error from one of the drivers. have one lap after this, I'm sure. He's getting into the final chicane now. Lap time wise, still in the 32s, as is Yonder Dippenaar, as is Richard Soler. So 32s for the front three runners at the moment. Andre Besson also a 32. Adrian Nell's last lap was a 2-minute with his spin. So it's looking like our top three is going to be Jean-Ray du Toit, Yonder Dippenaar and Richard Soler. Richard getting a bit of a slide out of the final corner there, Ari Laurendijk. But managed to actually get good exit speed still. Definitely, yes. Unfortunately, we have 3 drivers a lap down. The time has now run out. Peter Murray is one of them. He will cross the line and that will be race over, so he won't be able to catch up to anyone because he is quite a long way behind Andre Besson. So in first place we have Jean-Ray du Toit in the final set, I believe. Right, into the chicane. No, sorry, not into the chicane. That was into Ari Laurendijk. And he's got Yonder Dippenaar right behind him. That was a lot closer than I had expected. So first and second sorted. We see Richard now coming across the line and officially does take third place. So congratulations to Richard. And of course, Adrian will then be currently in fourth. As you see him making another mistake, locking up, going over the kitty litter on the inside there. Someone ahead of him, it is. That is Monet du Toit in front of him, once again running wide. It looks like his tyres have just gone, but yet he's been in for a pit stop. Well, maybe he pitted and didn't put tyres on. Maybe he just put fuel in. We didn't see his pit stop. We saw him going in, but yeah, maybe he didn't put tyres on. Alright, that's it. All the drivers have also crossed the line. So what we see now, yes, points for fourth and fastest lap. And Paul, correct. So you get those extra bonus points. So that might help a little bit. But alright, the drivers are now going to be heading into the pits. We're going to jump to a quick ad break before we come back with our top 3 interviews. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back, everybody. Of course, it's the end of round 3 from Zandvoort. We are now joined live for the interviews for our top 3 drivers. So in the top 3 we have Jean-Ray de Toy in first place, Jan-Ray Duppenaar in second place, and Richard Salier in third place. So we'll start with Jean-Ray. Jean-Ray, a fantastic race from you. Very consistent lap times there. One of only 2 drivers not to do a pit stop for tyres, as tyreways seem to be extremely abrasive around here. What was your strategy to make the tyres last? We noticed that one of the other drivers that was very fast, Adrian Nell, he did do a pit stop, but seemed to be struggling a lot. His front end of the car would turn him, but the back end was going. Were you also struggling with the rear tires at all? All right, well done on first place. And Yandre, a fantastic race as well, having a good start. Then, unfortunately, one of the drivers, Andre Besson, having a moment. And from that point, you inherited third. And your pace just sort of upped the gear. I'm not sure if you're just being conservative at that point. But then you seem to start catching Adrian in second. And we all know eventually you got past Adrian and ended up in a solid second place. But a fantastic race, starting in fourth place, working way up to second. What can you tell us from your point of view? Well done on second place. And third place, Richard, a fantastic third place, also progressing through the field and having a good latter half of the race. So you seem to take it conservative at the start. Were you trying to look after your tires, or was that just how the race played out for you? Well, congratulations on third with all your difficulties with tires. Sean, any questions for the drivers? All right, well, thank you guys. We are going to kick you guys all out now. So thank you very much, and well done to all 3 of you for your fantastic podium results. All right, well, while I get rid of the drivers, I'm just going to drop them out into other channels so that we can have a moment here to do our final say. if I can get that to work. So I'm just struggling a little bit here. Right, I'm just going to kick you guys all out if I can, which I'm struggling with. All right, there's one gone, two gone. All right. So Sean and I left. All right, the drivers are gone. Next round up, we have round 4 coming to you from Electronic Docks. This is a fictitious track, so we don't actually have a track map for it. So that track map is incorrect. That is the Suzuka track map, which is for the following round. This is a Formula E test track in the simulator. It's a fantastic track set along the docks. So we'll see cranes and all sorts of things. Quite a bumpy track. So this will be with the British touring cars. So it could also be a very interesting track, being a street circuit, being near the ocean. It'll be better for the engines. They'll run a bit better there as well. Whereas I think some of the circuits we go to are going to be much high altitude. The cars might struggle a bit. So this could be a different ball game, obviously, with the different cars. British touring cars versus German touring cars. The German touring car is closer to a sort of a Formula car the way it performs. This could bring the guys a lot closer again, Sean. Yep. And of course, just looking at the rest of the schedule for the season, so that will be round 4. Round 5 will be Suzuka. Round 6, Road Atlanta. Round 7, Road America. Round 8, Lime Rock Park. So we have our 3 American rounds. Then we go to Germany for Hockenheim. And then round 10 will either be Alton Park or Tony Rust, the Namibian home circuit. So hopefully that will be the closing circuit. We're just waiting for that to be finalized. But until next round, which is next week, I believe, if I got my dates correct. Let me just double check that. So that, oops, sorry, that is completed. We wanted next round, which is on the 23rd of July. So that is next week. So we will be back next week. Until next week, thank you very much once again, Sean, and thank you to all of those that have partnered and made this possible. So obviously DSTV, GoTV, 1UP2, Network Television. So thank you to everyone, of course, the FIA for making this happen, and of course, NMSF, the Namibian Motorsport Federation. So remember to head over to their sites, go and check out everything. If you want to get involved with Namibian Motorsport, you can head over to their site, give them all a shout, get involved. Until next week, Sean, I'll catch you then.